Hey, this is John Clayton. Welcome to another one of my bass tips. Really glad you're here. And I thought today we would talk about the importance of really pressing firmly with your left hand, with your fingers of your left hand. So what are we doing and why do we have to do that? When we play, whether it's with the bow, arco, or pizzicato, with our fingers, when we play, we're actually shortening the string every time we put our finger on it. I know that's obvious. So the most ringing, open, singing sound that you're ever going to get will be this and that and this and that, because the string is its full length. It's from the nut all the way down to the bridge. You and I have to do when we put our fingers on the strings is that we have to pretty much take the place of the nut. And thank goodness our fingers' body is made of flesh and bones, so that's great. But when we do put our fingers down on the string, it also means that we're not going to have that same sort of ringing tone. It's going to be a little bit warmer sound because of the flesh. Still, in order to help the string to vibrate and sustain, we've got to put as much weight as we can into it with our finger, not to the point of pain. Extremely important. Not to the point of pain. If it hurts, you've gone too far, back off a little bit. It's very important. So I always like to think of playing the string and feeling it with the bone of my finger. Digging in firmly with my left hand. Now the other thing that's important is that we don't want to dig in and force ourselves to have a struggle when we shift positions. In other words, you've got to have enough flexibility so that you can, even though you're playing firmly into the string, when it's time for you to shift, you can do so without any problem. Okay? In other words, if your thumb and fingers are really digging into the point that you can't move your hand, then we've gone too far. So it's all about just playing firmly with the fingers of your left hand. Now I really suggest that you experiment and find out what are the borders, what are those parameters for you. When you are pushing down firmly with your finger, can you get away with a little bit less? Can you get away with a little bit more? Whatever you do firmly is definitely going to be the way to go. So let's just try something together to experiment with that. You can play along with me if you've got your instrument. And what I'll do is I'll kill two birds with one stone here. I'll make sure that my fingers stay in the right position, all right, so that after I play a note and have to lift a finger up, I keep my fingers above the note that they can conceivably play. All right, so if I lift this fourth finger up, I'm not going to crimp it up and move it back there. If I move the first finger, that's not going to be important anyway, because my next point is that when your fourth finger is down, all of your fingers are down. So if your second finger is down, your first and your second finger are down. But my fourth finger is above the note that it could conceivably play. That's the idea. So first finger, second finger, fourth finger. So let's just try this together. We'll give you a chance to see what it feels like in a really relaxed way to press firmly with the fingers of your left hand. And I'll just play this, and I'll go back. Should we do that together? 1, 2, ready, and. To the D string. A string. why are we going through all of this, keeping our fingers in the right distance from each other and close to the strings and all that? Because as you progress, you're going to be playing music that is a bit more challenging. And you'll have to make sure that you don't have to struggle with your left hand. I'll talk a bit more about that in another bass tip segment. But you're going to have to play do that, and your fingers are going up and down, in and out, and far away from the strings, and then it's just too much work. So this is a perfect time for us to work with something that's slow, that gives us a chance to practice a few things at once. But there we go. Press down firmly with your fingers, not to the point of pain, and have more fun with the bass and making music, and I'll see you at the next bass tip.